Let's talk about succeeding in the digital space. And if we are being honest, it's not easy. And one of the reasons is because there are so many people who are in this space right now. And we also live in a time where we want instant results. That sounds cliche, but unfortunately, it's the truth. It's something that most of us have experienced, where you want to start something in January, and by March, you want to see the results. And we like also talking about, oh, so and so did this and they succeeded, or so and so did this and this was the outcome, without really knowing the inner workings of their strategy, of their downfalls, their failures. Because also the people that we follow online that we term successful, most of them will show the good side. So remember, even as you follow your social media, I don't want to call them influencers, but let's say even entrepreneurs, let me call them entrepreneurs because they are entrepreneurs, and you want to be like them, remember there's another side of their story that we don't really get to experience, and that's the failure. Or even if they talk about their failure, it's in passing, you know. So we need to be very careful in this content that we consume, that if you just do XYZ, you will succeed. But I digress. We are here to talk about what we need to do and what we need to do as much as possible to increase our chances of succeeding online. Nothing in this life is a guarantee, but we have to keep on trying and doing our best in our area of expertise to ensure that we achieve success, whatever success looks like to you. So we want to discuss how to experience success in this digital age and in the digital space. And the first thing that I want us to talk about is having a plan, having a strategic plan. But even before we go to the strategic plan, let's talk about the purpose and the why. Why do we want to achieve what we want to achieve, and why are we doing what we're doing? So you need to just have a sit down with yourself and say, this is my purpose, because that why is what will push you through the difficult moments that are ahead or that you've already experienced. So we need to have that why and the purpose of the purpose of what we are doing. Okay? Yeah. So once we identify the why, we have it in mind, we have it in our heads every time we have a difficulty, we remember the why. And even every time we have a successful outcome, we're like, yes, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. The next thing is the strategic plan. Everything that has a plan behind it, the chances of it succeeding is very, very high. And there's a quote that says, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. And that's very true. So even in your efforts to succeed in this digital business or having a digital success for your business, you need a solid plan. And I like to use the Propel strategic model. So that's the Propel. So P is for plan, R is for research, O is for objectives. So here's where you set your objectives. P is for prepare. Here's where you set the different individual strategies. E is for execute, and L is for learn. So I talk about this more in my online SEO course. So if you're interested in that, you can just go to jedderagency.com. That's JEDER agency.com and check out that course if it's something that would interest you. So I talk about more about the Propel strategy, and it can work for any business, literally any business. So that Propel strategic model is quite interesting. And once we have the why, we have our strategy in place, now we need to have a discussion of what are our digital assets? What are we going to use as assets to pass our message across, to pass this brand message, or to tell the potential audience, this is what we are offering, this is a product, this is a service. So the first thing is our website. A website is not a must for every business, but I believe it's very, very important. For some businesses, it's a must. Case in point, what I'm doing. If I didn't have a website, I don't think you would take me very seriously. Also, when it comes to search engine optimization, having a website is more or less pretty standard. It's a must. Yeah, unless you just want your social profiles to rank high. But yeah, I believe having a website is very, very important, and having a fully or well optimized website. So this is when our search engine optimization comes in, ensuring that your site is optimized to your audience. Yeah, this is also an important aspect, and this is where now this is my bread and butter now, search engine optimization and website design. So yeah, you need to ensure that your website is tailored for your market, for your audience and your potential audience, so that it's easily searchable, or rather when a user searches for a service or product that you offer, you're at least on the first page. There's a joke that says that you can hide a dead body in the second, third, fourth page of Google, because when you rather enter a keyword into the Google search box and you don't find your answer on the first page, the likelihood is you're going to change your search term, right? Or if you find it on the first page, you're going to click at least the first 2, 3 links, or rather open them in different tabs and then read through them. So you being on page 3, 4, 5 really doesn't help. And it's a process to get to page 1, especially depending on your industry. The industry that I'm in, SEO, is very competitive. So getting on page 1 is just amazing. When you get to page 1 for some certain keywords, it feels really good, or it feels good when somebody calls you and when you ask them the attribution, or where they found out about you, and then they say, I just made a Google search and you were there. So yeah, having an optimized website is really important. The next thing is having a social media presence. Again, this is not a must, but it's good, because if your website is a focal point, what social media profiles help you is drive traffic to your website. So they build awareness, because that's where many people spend their time online, on social media channels. And so you need to identify, where does my audience chill? Where do they spend most of their time? Is it LinkedIn? Is it Twitter? Is it Facebook? Personally, I did a trial and error for quite a long time, and I found that LinkedIn was best suited for me. With that said, doesn't mean that I can't use other channels to promote my business, to promote the services or products that I'm offering. I can, but my focus is on LinkedIn. And when it comes to video, YouTube, TikTok and YouTube Shorts are also quite vital. So you need to ensure that you have a strong social media presence. You can go the route of trial and testing to see which channels work best for your business, or you can also check out, for example, competitors. You can check out what works for them, because if you have a very similar competitor and they're doing, let's say, very well on Twitter, chances are Twitter is the platform for you. Again, there's also a lot of trial and error, so also give it some time. You don't have to nail this on the first go. So yeah, just check out what your competitors are doing. There are also tools that help you figure out which platform is best for your kind of industry. So yeah, social media presence is quite important. The other thing is email and email marketing. This is also an interesting one, very underutilized, but very powerful, because we've talked about having a website and having social media profiles, having an email campaign, or rather having an email marketing strategy is very important, because what this gives you is almost control over your audience. When you have a huge audience on Instagram, Meta is the one that is controlling, in a way, that platform and your audience. Or if you have a strong audience on the LinkedIn platform, Microsoft is the one that is controlling that platform and, in essence, your audience. But when it comes to email, somebody has given you their email address. One, this means that they're interested in your business, in your product offering, in your service offering, and maybe they're considering choosing you as their service provider or buying a product from you. So already there is some intent there when it comes to liking what you're offering. And you own now this email address, meaning that you can reach out to them whenever you feel like, and they have willingly given you their email address. So that's very, very important. And once you build a strong email list, I mean, when you have a new product or service that you're launching, these are the first people that you go to. And there's something that I was listening to a webinar the other day about email newsletters, and what email newsletters or being active in any aspect of digital marketing, whether it's on your social media profiles or your website or now email, is you are the top of the mind of your audience. So let me give an example. When you're talking to your audience almost twice, thrice a week, and you're giving them, let's say, SEO advice. I'm giving you SEO advice twice, thrice a week. Whenever you hear of somebody needing SEO services, the first person most likely that will come to mind is the person that you have been hearing from over and over again. They are at the top of your mind. And that's what now consistency does. It gives you that power and leverage, not even leverage, just power. And they remember that, oh yeah, I actually read a newsletter yesterday. I watched a webinar. I saw their post on Twitter, on LinkedIn. And it's easy for them to refer you to somebody who needs that service, or even themselves if they need the service. So email newsletters are very powerful in that you can reach your audience at any time in their inbox, because remember, social media platforms, you can post, but your audience might fail to see it. That's just how the algorithm works. If you have 1,000 followers and you publish a post on Instagram, it doesn't mean all your 1,000 followers will see that post. But with email newsletters, the chances of somebody seeing your email, especially if you've tailored your campaign well and you've structured your backend very well when it comes to email campaigns, the likelihood of them seeing the email and opening the email becomes quite high. And of course, now things like copywriting need to come into play, because you need to also be very captivating and exciting in how you're communicating, so that they are excited to hear from you every time that you publish something via email. So the other thing is now content creation and curation. What I'm doing right now, content creation and curation is very important, and the biggest challenge I have seen when it comes to content creation and curation is consistency. Consistency is very difficult. I've tried to be consistent for a very long time, found it very difficult. But what I am doing of late is, for example, when it comes to video, you record in bulk. So you can record 20 videos at a go and then distribute it, or rather schedule it for the next 1 month, 2 months. That really helps when it comes to consistency, because if your audience expects to hear from you every Monday and then you stop, or rather you don't have that consistency, they will not expect now every Monday to hear from Ian. So their mind will be taken away from it. So getting them back again to that group becomes very difficult. And the same works for also these platforms. When you don't post for a very long time, you can even just try it, or I'm sure you've experienced it. If you don't post for a very long time and then post, even if you have 10,000 followers, your engagement for that post would be quite low, because these algorithms have been made to reward consistency. So consistency is very, very important when it comes to content creation and curation. So what's the difference between content creation and content curation? So creation is coming up, developing this content from scratch, and curation is using other people's content to come up with a slightly different version of the same content. So an example of curation is somebody has posted an article on a subject that interests your audience. So you can read the article and give your 2 cents. So this way you don't have to be creating your content, or just creating original content every now and then. What this does, it also gives your audience a perception that you are not just focused about you are also conversant with the industry and you're out there. So and it also helps because coming up with original content is not easy. So that's where now curation comes in, and it's very important and helpful, especially when you're running dry on original content. It really comes through. The other thing is digital PR. So this is where you try your best to get mentions from industry leaders or even your audience, and through user generated content. So you want people to talk about your business in the different spaces that they're in. So I talk about SEO, and let's say somebody is on LinkedIn talking about how Ian is good at his job. Somebody on Facebook is talking about the same thing. An article is published on, let's say, Business Daily that is an SEO consultant called Ian. That really helps build your credibility, and that's all about now digital PR. It validates what you have been doing in-house. So you create content to say, this is what I do, I'm really good at this. But now with digital PR, it cements, and it can act as a review pillar where, yes, you're saying you're providing this service and other people are confirming that, yes, it's true that he provides or she provides this service and he or she is good at it. So that really helps with your credibility and getting new business. Last but not least is analytics. In the Propel model, the last letter there is L. L stands for learn. And learn is where you analyze and measure everything that you have done. Because without measuring, we won't know what is working and what's not working. So when it comes to analytics, we need to measure our efforts, our digital marketing efforts, and say, this is what we have invested, this is the return on investment, is it making sense, what's working, what's not working. For what's working, can we replicate it on to these other sections? For what's not working, how can we optimize it so that it can work to its full potential? So analyzing your efforts is very important because you just don't want to dish out or do all these things without understanding, yeah, this is what works, let's double down on this. So yeah, basically those are the things that you can use and do to succeed in this digital space. And yeah, just sell yourself. You can have the best product, you can have the best service, but if people don't know about it, then it's just a waste. So you need to sell yourself. You need to get over the fear, because that's one of the main things that we have is fear of failure, fear of embarrassment, fear of what will people think. This fear usually comes from also a very selfish point of view, because when you think about fear, it's always about me, always about what will people think about me, how will this affect me. No, and we go back to the purpose and to the why. Once you identify and understand your why and the purpose, it kind of helps eliminate, not even really eliminate, but reduce the fear aspect. Yeah, because I said fear is all about me. How will people perceive me? And yeah, just persevering. There are ups and downs, and even after you succeed, there will be downs, there will be more ups. So yeah, just having that perseverance and a strong support system, whether it's at home or even in the workplace, just having a system of support and a system that you can bounce back to, or just comfort you during the difficult moments, and even a support system that celebrates with you when you win. So yeah, that's a little bit about how to succeed in this digital space. My name is Ian Kuri. I'm an SEO specialist, and if you want to learn more about SEO, digital marketing, then you are in the right place. If you would want to upskill your digital marketing skills or your SEO skills, I have an online SEO course that you can check out. You can head over to jeddahagency.com and check out the SEO course. So what this course is, it's all about just improving your SEO skills and ensuring that you grasp and understand how search engines work. How do I rank my client's website or my own website from page 1,000 to page 1? What do I need to do, and all these principles and techniques. So yeah, I really enjoyed that this topic, and yeah, make sure you just follow for more of the same. And yeah, thanks for listening.